Okay, back to the first movement of the C minor Beethoven Violin and Piano Sonata, or Piano and Violin Sonata, as it's listed. Let's see. I will go to 179. Well, I had a new fingering. I just realized something. There is a standard C minor fingering, but that would normally not involve going 1, 2, 3, 4 on E flat, but rather something, and then 1, 2, 3. Now I wouldn't do that at the beginning. So right now, what's curious to my hand is having the group of 3 in a weird place. Now that'll happen often, an exception, because of the beginnings of scales. Scales often don't start on the tonic, for example, like here. So I have to decide, is it worth it to just do that changed fingering, or do 2 4s in a row and come out with the standard fingering for the last octave? I don't know. I think yes, because I missed it last time. Because so 4 twice in a row. Okay. With 5 notes, there should be probably 5 fingers. This is the sort of thing where obviously the left hand is what moves. So the attention needs to be there. Doesn't mean I have to look at the left hand. I know where my left hand is. I also have to make a decision. I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the end, which I think I'm going to do. Then I still have to move my hand over. Maybe to the second finger, something other than thumb, perhaps. For the entertainment value. 2, and then back to 1. So. In the hands. It's busy. It's very interesting that pianism and the figurations in this, as compared with the Archduke trio that I recently played, Opus 97 as opposed to Opus 30, number 2. This is much more standard stuff. In other words, I recognize the figurations, even with the imitations, that he's evolved by the time he gets to the Archduke, and his, not just his musical language, but his pianistic language has changed rather a lot, and there are a lot more issues to contend with. Here, these are always issues. going back to Bach and before, contrapuntal issues, what hand does what and where do you stick your attention. So, but it falls under the hand very nicely and it's pretty pianistic. Here I just have to keep track of where I am. What key? Just goes from C, D flat, F, and back to C. And the left hand has placement issues, like for example, 3-2-1 with the E flat in the middle of the hand. Suggested a fingering for this figure at 196, which of course I don't like. Not only do I not like it, I despise it. It's really so bizarre. But you know what? Everybody's entitled to their bizarre, idiosyncratic fingering because I don't know this editor's hand or strategic process, although I can, sometimes there's a stamp of the kind of thinking, the kind of grouping. I don't know if people have written books on that, what you learn from a person by his or her fingering. In this case, it's not my kind of fingering. So I'm going to do something 2-1 on 196, 4-2, 5-4. So. So Beethoven has really added to the modulatory intrigue. Seems to love these sequences. Okay, that needs a bit of a workout. I mean, it needs a bit of strategy. It needs figuring out what to do. Fingering, gestural. This editor suggests get to 2 at the bottom and hop up to the thumb on the beginning of the next group. I'm going to try it once. Well, it works in places. Let's see. What other choices do I have? Well, that would be to have fewer turns. Go to 5 on top, 1 on the bottom, 5 on the top. Certainly at 199, the 1 on F is useful and possibly imperative. That I like. Let's see it. It's amazing how much easier it is in that last phrase, last measure, than it compact, comfortable position up here. Now down here, I wouldn't mind it going 3-2, especially if the 2 were on a black note, but going from a black to a white note involves negotiating a rather large gesture. If I had my druthers, I'd rather go to say 2-1 and finish on a thumb white note, and then just toss my hand. Let's see. But I think I may be fine with this fingering. I will be fine with this now that I've tilted my hand. In other words, now that the choreography involves having the arm swing the hand into position, the 3 and 2 is not so ungainly. So, and then of course the hand has to turn back for the more elongated chords here. Let's see. I'll probably need to, this is one of the few spots in this movement where I genuinely need to have memorized where my right hand is going. Now that's so silly. The fact that this, that I really irritates me, that he would break up that motive and shift the hand in a funny place. Oh. Holy mackerel, let's see. Hand divisions, hand redivisions. So, I'm going to go with my original like, which is to put 5th fingers on top. Be still my beating heart. Get my right hand used to this. Just a little bit. Well, I still might. Nah, I don't need it. And that means I will find F on 2nd finger. I'm going to 5th finger at the top, so 2, 1. Stick with that. I need the fancy fingering for these repeated notes on 200. So I'm going to go to 3 on every beat and then continue on 2. So it'll be 3, 2, 3, 1, 3. outweighed by its goodness. I love the way he changes slowly in the chorus. Group will be 5-1-3 instead of the first inversion one, and then I'll toss my hand. I could do the standard first inversion and just reuse that portion of my hand, but I think it'll make a more robust and more comfortable ending to have a compact hand. So octave, another octave is another octave now, a small one. Toss. I like that better. For now. This is delicate. It's got lots of repeated notes, so I want to make absolutely sure there's nothing complicated. So 3, 2, 1 in the right hand, 2, 1, 3. And then, as I did before, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, turn my hand, and deliver my left hand to thumb. So 2, 3 I'm going to do. This is on 231. So I need to learn this. Unpredictable. One measure of one chord, one measure of another chord, half a measure, 3 beats of one tremolo. So. Slightly tongue twistery, so I've got to be careful. Oh, change. I think I might stick with 3-2 each time, and rocking my hand. And shift. We'll see. Tricky. Oh, it's so funny that Beethoven puts this stridency in on the beats. Makes it so wickedly wonderful there. So it's interesting. I'm still having a little trouble with my left hand when I'm playing with the right hand. When I concentrate on the choreography and the notes alone, it's not that it's the most intuitive and natural thing, but it's reasonable. Whoops. Okay, so what I often like to do is to change the grouping. In other words, rather than going up to the thumb note, start from the thumb note and go to the... Let's see if that makes a difference. Certainly is easy. On the third measure. Turn my hand over on 238. I don't have enough fingers. I'm very happy that the piano will be playing on tremolos with more ease than this one does. Oops. Fingerings from 245, 5, 4, 2, 1, 5. I like starting on E flat on 245 with fifth finger. I can go 5, 4, 2, 1 and turn my hand at the top. But getting to 5. Well, maybe I'll do it anyway. Shift my hand. Beethoven has also broken this slur, so a reiteration on the downbeat matched by a motion of my arm is not a bad thing. Start again. So that's not bad. That G every time if I go to it. If I start from it, because it's a big leap of a fifth followed by a standard arpeggio. So if I do the standard arpeggio as the primary group, it makes it so much easier. So if I think down is down here, and then to here, and then to here, and then to here, and do it again, and do it again. All right. First movement.